Agriculture, where since independence, the agriculture sector has been one of the key economic pillars to the country's economic growth. But funding from government to the sector has remained the lowest, contrary to the Maputo Declaration, where Kenya is a signatory that said that African countries would commit to allocating 10% of its budget to this sector. So far, Kenya hasn't kept its end to this commitment, and as of the 2018-2019 budget is set to be tabled in Parliament this week, all eyes will be on what exactly the government does allocate to the sector. Take a look.
Small-scale farmers in Kenya continue to lose billions of shillings in earnings and stay trapped in poverty cycles as the government cut budgetary support for the agricultural sector.
Agriculture is the mainstay of the largest population in this country, and therefore should have the biggest share of the budget. Is the mainstay. 80% of Kenyans are outside there doing business or farming. And therefore, we must look at that value chain and try to take a lot of attention, because that's how we can be able. It's also contributing 30% of GDP. And then it has the lowest, one of the lowest priorities in budget. That is a mismatch of the country.
A new study indicates that government financial support for the agricultural sector is shrinking and inadequate to achieve the country's goals of food security or poverty reduction.
If any prioritization, that percent of the budget, we must move to nearly closer. Because if you can, money in, you must put money in to get money. Yeah, I'm sure you know. Money must be put in place to get money. You cannot have nothing and get everything.
In its 2017-2018 financial year budget, Treasury allocated 41 billion shillings directly to the agricultural sector, with 12.2 billion shillings allocated to crop development, 13.1 billion shillings for irrigation, and 9.6 billion shillings for livestock development, with another 2.9 billion shillings went to fisheries, and 3.9 billion shillings going to administration and support services. This allocation has been considered negligible in helping improve food security and contrary to the Maputo Declaration.
We have seen in Africa the countries that have increased their budget closer to the 10% of the requirement that we discussed by AU. We have seen those countries, they are able to improve the agricultural sector, including the exports.
Data from projected budget estimate for the next 3 years, however, indicates a continued trend in allocation, with agricultural spending peaking at 2.4% of the total expenditure over the next 3 years.
That agriculture will only improve when you put money, not when you get money from agriculture. That is not, we are not in business as a country.
The need for more budgetary allocation has been heightened by cases of extreme drought and floods expected to increase in frequency and intensity in the coming years. And as the Cabinet Secretary for Finance prepared to table the 2018-2019 financial year budget this coming Thursday, all eyes will be on how much the agricultural sector will receive. Philip Keitany, KTN News.
Well, 2.4% indeed, quite, well, surprising figures right there. And the